Hey guys, this is Nevin here, and in this video I'm just going to go over our website launch checklist. And the purpose of this is to make sure that your website's completely optimized, not only on the front end, but on the back end. Of course, you want your website to look good, you want it to look presentable and look professional, but you also want to make sure it's built well on the back end so that you can improve your ranking. You want to make sure it loads as fast as possible, and those sorts of things. Getting it to look good is really easy. It's really straightforward, common sense. Uh, Optimizing it on the back end can be a little bit confusing, and so that's why I put together this checklist here to basically make sure you leave no stones unturned. You go through the entire thing and make sure the entire site from top to bottom is looking good and functioning good. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and dive right in here. I've got the notes broken into three different sections. You've got general, so that's just like the basic stuff. And then SEO best practices, the stuff you want to do to increase your SEO across the site. And then SEO boosted things. These are things you can do to increase it even more. And then a few things to do after publishing. So let's go ahead and dive right in. I have a website editor open right here. So this is the site right here. The very first thing you're going to want to do is check for hidden sections, images, and pages. So that's basically you just want to go through each and every page. Just come over here through pages, look through each of your pages that you have on here, go down to services and check all your commercial pages, so on and so forth, and then just make sure there's no hidden sections. Make sure, and that part can take a little bit of time, but you want to make sure you check every single page to make sure every page is looking good. So um, that part's pretty straightforward. That's kind of common sense. So once you do that, just go ahead and check that off. The next thing you have here is the privacy page. So you're going to want to come in here, privacy settings, and then this is nice. You can simply click customize privacy page, and this will create a privacy page for you. Super easy. And then all you have to go down here is put your name in there, and then go through and anywhere where it has your information, just put your business name in there. And then you can see here it automatically creates a privacy policy for you, so you don't have to take the time to actually go through and do it. Now, you can customize it further if you'd like to, if there's anything you want to change or add, you can easily do that. But this is pretty standard privacy policy. So it's really nice. You don't have to go through and do it all yourself. So then you check that off. The cookie banner. So this is like if you've ever gone to a website and you get a pop-up that says this website uses cookies. You have to have that if you have a Facebook pixel or a Google tag or any third-party code that's tracking conversions on that site. And most people that I know use a Facebook pixel or at the very least a Google tag. So all you have to do is come in here, same thing, and let's see if we can find it here. Privacy settings. You're going to see right here underneath privacy settings, you're just going to want to turn on the cookie notification, and you can preview it. And then you should see it pop up right here. Right? We use cookies, and you can customize that message if you want, but that's pretty straightforward. Okay. Now, if you want to disable cookies, you can. I don't recommend that because with cookies, obviously, it's really nice because you install a Facebook pixel, which is super easy. And then what it allows you to do is build an audience on Facebook of everyone who's viewed your website and then show them ads, in case they didn't buy or things of that nature. And then you can also create lookalike audiences of people who viewed your website, which is really powerful for your Facebook ads. So that's pretty simple. Then you want to check logos on mobile. So that's super easy. You just want to go to the mobile device, make sure that this right here is your logo, make sure it's looking good, and then also check in the footer and make sure that it's looking good in here. Now this is a black background, so it doesn't stand out as well, but you just want to make sure that it does stand out. So if your logo is black, it probably makes sense to maybe put a lighter colored background there so it stands out more. Check logos on scroll. That's also useful as well because as you can see, this header starts off light blue, it goes to dark blue. Sometimes you can have it set to where your logo starts off big and then as you start to scroll it goes small. So you just want to make sure that that still looks good when you do that. It's super easy. The next thing is the favicon. So the favicon are these little icons up here in the tabs. As you can see, here's the YouTube one, Google Docs one. All you have to do is go to SEO and settings, go to icons, and right here you see a favicon. And then just upload logo, whatever your logo is, and then that's all there is to it. And you do the same thing with social networks. Go ahead and upload that. Basically, what that is anytime you share your link on Facebook, it'll pull that image, whatever image you upload right here. And then the same thing for the home screen icon, which isn't really that useful, but it's still worth it to upload your logo right there. Check all buttons. So this is another really important thing. You want to make sure your buttons are linked to different pages. So let's go back to the home page here. And what you'd want to do, this is a call now button. So you'd want to make sure that this is set to whenever it calls, it's set to your phone number. You want to make sure that it's connected. In free online quote, right here, you see how that's set to click to call. What you're going to want to do is change this, and you can go existing page. And then in this case, we can just send that to the, let's see if we have a contact page here. Yep. So whenever they click that, it sends them to the contact us page. And you want to do it to all the buttons across your site, as well as the phone icon up here. You can see it's linked to a standard or a default phone number. You want to make sure that's set to your phone number. And whatever your phone number is, it'll pull from right here under content, business info. You're going to put your business name, logo, phone number, and email address. And so that will help you populate your phone number all across the site, so you don't have to keep adding it in again and again. You could just pull it directly from right there. Super easy. Then you're going to want to check all the phone numbers. Again, make sure, scroll down to the footer. Make sure that your phone numbers are accurate in there. Right there, it's 555. So what I would do is just come in here and I actually just delete both of those and then update the text editor. And then I'm going to turn the, well, it's going to turn back, but I'm going to pull in the phone number. And then I'm going to pull in the email address. Highlight that, turn it white. And then, like I said, you're going to want to do this across the entire website. And actually, it's debatable, but some people suggest not putting your email on your website. Or if you're going to do it, make it where a person has to click a button to email you. And what that's going to do is cut down on spam. Because if you put your website, or if you put your email visible on your website, what's going to happen is you're going to start getting a lot of spam. And anytime you post a new website, you publish it, for the first month at least, you're going to get a lot of spam. A lot of people, there's tools online now where people can basically mine all of the new websites anytime a new website's published, and they put that into a file, and then they automatically email you. So you're going to get a ton of spam. So it might be worth not putting your email on there. And then if you want customers to have the option to email you, instead put a button and then set the button to where if they click it, it emails you. That's just a little pro tip to keep in mind. So yeah, go through all the pages, make sure the phone number looks good on all the pages. You want to make sure that the forms have the correct email. So let's go up here. Here's a form. What you want to do is click on the form and then click submission and then click submission recipients. And you want to make sure you put your email in right here, because what's going to happen is anytime somebody fills out this form, it's going to automatically send an email to you notifying you, and it's going to have their information. And then once you do that, just make sure you do a test. Now, if you have a lot of forms on your site, if whatever email you put in right here under content, business info, whatever email you put in right here, now just click edit, paste your email in right there. That'll automatically connect to all the forms. So you don't have to go through each individual form. You only have to do it once. Mobile version works on all pages. So this is another thing. You can also preview it, copy this link, send it to your phone, email it to yourself, or whatever, and then pull it open on your phone, and then just check every page on your phone. Go through every single page, make sure they load correctly, make sure the images look good, make sure nothing's out of proportion. And it's really simple. All you're really doing is checking. And if anything is out of proportion, just log back into the editor and fix it. Test it on all browsers. This isn't super important, but if you really want to, do the same thing. I use Chrome, but go ahead and copy this link, and then you can open Firefox, Firefox or Edge. I'm not going to do it because the video recorder will stop if I switch browsers, but just if you have Firefox or Microsoft Edge, you can paste that in there, or open it up on Safari whenever you send it to your phone. Make sure it looks good on Safari. In most cases it will, so you won't have to really worry too much about that. Make sure you have a call to action above the fold on main pages. This is debatable. Some people say it's super important, but you can see here a call to action is literally what it is. So right here, you've got a call now button and a free quote button. So the very first thing a user sees is a call to action, call now, and a free quote. And then there's also a call button up here. So if they keep scrolling, that call to action is always visible on the screen. And of course, here's another call to action. You want to have multiple call to actions on the site because you basically want to make it as easy as physically possible for the user to fill out that form. You want to check that your form color and text are not white on white. This is something that you definitely want to check. Now, this form on the home page here isn't a problem because it's not a white background, but you just want to test it because sometimes what will happen is people will get themselves into trouble because you'll have a form here and it might be a white background, but then your font's white. So the font's typing, but you can't see it because it's white on white, or vice versa, it's black on black. So you just want to make sure you check the form, make sure the font looks good. If the font's not good, it's a super easy fix. All you have to do is come in here to design, scroll down to fields, go to field text, go to input, and you can see it's set to black. So if it were white, all you'd have to do is change this to whatever color you want. Super easy. Check that your URLs are named correctly. This is really important as well. The URLs for each individual page. So for the home page, I'll show you this. Okay, so for the home page, it's going to be set to home as the URL. But then for each service page, you're just going to click the gear icon and then you'll see page URL. So in this case, this is set correctly, commercial services. Let's go ahead and check building washing. You can see this has building washing, then it has a random string of numbers, but that's not a huge problem. Make sure that commercial concrete cleaning, let's go check that. Yep. Basically what you want to do with the URL is you want to make sure the URL contains a keyword that's relevant to that service. So in this case, commercial concrete cleaning, it would be true for gutter cleaning, house washing, whatever service it is. You essentially want to make sure that that service is in the URL. Super easy. Style the 404 page. I don't really worry too much about the 404 page. Essentially what the 404 page is like if somebody goes to your site and it's like a broken link for whatever reason, maybe they typed in the URL wrong after the backslash, it would send them to a 404 page saying that that page doesn't exist. The 404 page, you really don't need to worry too much about that because it's already set. But you come here to 404 page, you can click customize page. I'm just going to preview it to show you what it looks like. To me, this is fine. But if you don't like that, then you can change it and make it look however you want. And to edit it, it's going to be just like editing any other page on the site. So I'm not going to dive too deep into that. That's pretty easy. Connect your domain name. Very simple and easy. All you have to do is hit publish. And then I highly recommend using Google Domains. If you use Google Domains to purchase your domain, literally all you have to do is click a button. You don't have to have any tech skill. You don't have to be you literally can have no tech skill whatsoever, and it's so easy to connect a domain. If you don't use Google Domains, it also works with GoDaddy. So if you use GoDaddy, that's easy too, but Google Domains is going to make your life 10 times easier in the future when it comes to connecting Google Search Console, which is vital to your SEO, Google Analytics, which is really important for tracking the data on your site. You can still do it all with GoDaddy and Namecheap and all the other domain providers, but I cannot stress this enough. If you haven't purchased your domain yet, you want to use Google Domains. It'll make your life a million times easier. Connecting the domain is super easy. Like I said, once you publish your site, go to connect your domain name. It literally has instructions walking through. It's super easy. Now, SEO best practices, image optimization. Let me show you what I mean by that here. So this is a slider image. Let me go back to the home page. So you'll notice right here, this is an image. I believe this might be a background image of a column. Oh, no, it's an image. So you see here, you've got the ability to set the alt text, the tulip, and then a caption. In this case, I'm going to set a tulip because that helps with the SEO. The alt text is huge. You want to make sure every site, and I'm going to get into a little bit deeper in a minute, you want to make sure every image on your site has alt text set. Relevant. So if it's roof cleaning, you want to make sure it's roof cleaning, and make sure that alt text correlates with whatever the image is. And then the caption, I don't put a caption here because it kind of messes with the design, doesn't look as good in that case, and it's not as useful. But on other images across the site, it doesn't hurt to put a caption. But you just kind of use your judgment, whatever you think is best. Right here, same thing. Make sure you have alt text set, tulip set. And that's important for your SEO. Now, another thing you want to do with your image optimization, make sure that they're high quality images, but it also is nice to compress them. Now, a beautiful thing about the site editor is that any image you upload is going to automatically be compressed. And the reason you want to compress it is because it's going to make your site load faster. If you don't compress your images, it can take much longer to load. And obviously, slow load time is not good. For your SEO as well as your click-through rate and your bounce rate and things of that nature. So The nice thing is this automatically compresses them. Now, one thing that you can do, and I like to do this for most of my sites, is use Canva, go through Canva, and then upload your image to Canva and then name it. Now, you don't have to do it in Canva because if you have the files on your computer, you can just name the file house washing in whatever city, and try to do that with every image. Name the file to include a keyword. That's an additional thing you can do to optimize it. Now, if you want to take it a step further, you can also use a site that I like to use called GeoImager and upload it. And then you can, what it allows you to do is set the geotag. Some people debate whether geotag is beneficial or not. I like to look at it like I like to do every little thing I can do. I want to give myself every little tiny edge that I can to improve my ranking, because you're competing with people. Well, it depends on your area, but most likely you're competing with people who are doing those things. So, again, it's called GeoImager, and essentially all you do is upload the image, set wherever you want to target with your geotag, and then set the tag, and then download it, and then re-upload it. And then you combine that with naming the image. Go into your file before you upload it to the site and name it a relevant keyword and then a relevant location as well. So that's super easy. Site title and description. So all you're going to do is come over to SEO. This is, again, very important for your SEO. You're going to come over here, click on the SEO tab, and you're going to see site title. What I like to do is I like to structure it like this. Whatever your main keyword is, pressure washing, house washing, roof cleaning, whatever is most profitable for you. I like to go pressure washing service, and then align, and then whatever your main service city is. So let's just say, as an example, let's just say Tampa. And then in addition to that, you're going to want to go ahead and say whatever your name is. That's how I like to structure the site title. And then for a description, just describe what it is you do. And then I try to fit in the location in there as well. And you can put a few, we service this area, and this area. So that way you get a little bit, you can target more than just one location there. And then keywords. You can add whatever keyword you want to add in there as well. Super easy. Social media image, that's what I was showing you guys earlier with the favicon. So with the icons, this little image right here. So whenever you share your page on Facebook, that would be the image that would come up. Super easy. Page titles and descriptions works very similar to the site title, but you click the gear icon of each individual page, and this is where you get a huge benefit. So click on that, click SEO, and you'll notice this page title is Pressure Washing Company, and I could do the same thing. Tampa, right? Or whatever your city is. And then if you don't want this to be pressure washing, you could even make this say house washing. Now, I don't know if I would go house washing. I would probably go a little bit more broad personally, because yes, house washing is profitable. It might even be your main service. But it's one of those things where you don't want to kind of pigeonhole yourself. You want to leave it open for commercial washing, roof cleaning, things of that nature. So just something to keep in mind. And then you want to go through each individual page. You see we've got the commercial services page, building washing. Here's the house cleaning page. So I would just go SEO. And you can see I already kind of pre-fill it, but it says house washing service, soft washing. And then I always like to add a location in there. Because a location is really, you're doing a local SEO. So you really want to include a location in there. That's how I do it. And then you just go down for each individual page. Same thing, this one doesn't have a title. So you just go pressure washing service Tampa, right? And then you could put your name on there at the end if you wanted to. And then just go through and do that for each and every one of your pages. And then once you do that, clock that off. Now you got your post, your blog post description. A lot of people underutilize blogs. It's super easy. Just come into blog post. It has a couple kind of like pre sites in there. Just delete those, and then go to blog settings and then name it. So I try to put the location in everywhere possible. So I give that blog the name, and then I'll just give that same the blog title, and then I just go like to go with the FAQs because FAQs are the best way to do it. Just think of questions that customers ask you, like, is it safe to pressure wash stucco siding? Perfect example. And then just write an article, talking about, no, it's not safe to pressure wash stucco siding. A better and more effective alternative is soft washing, and then explain soft washing. And then at the end of the post, have a little button that says, get a free stucco cleaning quote or something like that. And then that's the best way to do your blog. And then put a little image on there with a stucco siding that somebody damaged with the pressure washer versus a stucco siding job that you did that came out really well using soft washing, stuff like that. Then give it a thumbnail. Just pick a random one here just to show you an example. A thumbnail, you see here how it has the file name. All you'd really need to do is just go through and name this, your business name and location or whatever. That's probably the best way to do that. And then now that you have that set up, you can just simply click new post. Whenever you are adding a new blog post, this is something we do with SEO, but I always stress it to people, you can do this yourself. You don't need to pay somebody. So like, let's say you want to rank for the keyword. Again, I would use the example I was using earlier. Stucco siding washing. Give it an image. I'm not going to do it now. You can go get your image later. I like to use Canva. Go, upload a picture of stucco before and after, and then name it, and then bring it in. And then you can see how easy this is. Give it a title. This is H1. Is it safe to stucco? And then you would just go through and answer and say, no, or whatever you want to do. And you can do that with any question you have. So that's super easy. Alt text on all images. We already covered that. I think that's pretty self-explanatory for most of you guys. Clean URLs. You don't want to have like super long URLs. So you want to go through whenever you're doing your URL section, just try to keep them short and to the point. Whatever the service is, and then whatever your city is. So it's going to be your home link or whatever, and then house washing Tampa, roof cleaning Tampa, commercial pressure washing Tampa. That's the best way to do that. Meta titles. We sort of already covered this a little bit here, but I'll go into it again. Your meta titles, let's go into the commercial services page and go to SEO right here. Really, your meta titles, we already covered this, is like your page titles as well as your descriptions. I didn't really touch too much on this, but with the description, you do have a limit of 320 characters. I try to use around 200, and then just, again, explain the service, include some keywords, and include your location. It's not rocket science. Don't overthink it, essentially what I'm saying. H1 through H2 text. Now, this is a really important thing. So let's go back to the home page. And the way the sites are structured, you've got headers and you've got paragraph text. Headers are just like, if you go back to school, when you're writing an essay, you've got your main title, which is what the, let's say you're writing an essay, that's what the essay is about. And then you've got subtopics underneath it. And so in this case, the main title, the main topic is going to be your H1 tag. You should only have one H1 tag per page, and then you can have, however many H2 tags you need, and then under each H2 tag, you can have H3 tag. So in this case, you see this is H1. The H1 tag carries the most weight on your site for SEO. So you want to make sure in your H1 tag you are using a keyword and you have a location in there as well. So in this case, we have pressure washing and soft washing in Harrisburg. You can make that whatever keywords make the most sense for you. And then we scroll down here a little bit more. These might be H3 tags. Yep, so we got H3 tags here describing each service where you can go through and click through. And then here we have, this is actually paragraph text. Oh no, this is an H3 tag, which is fine. Again, H3 tag, but you only want to have one H1 tag per page. That's super important. And it's best practice to, in each of your H tags, that you have keywords. Your H1 tag being by far the most important. So just keep that in mind. Only have one H1 tag per page. Make sure it has a keyword and make sure it's at the top. And then under that, you can have H2s, H3s, and so on, all the way down to H4s and through H6. And SEO, make sure your pages are indexed. This is super important. So let's say you have a page that you don't want to index. Maybe, for example, thank you page. So let me show you here. So this is a thank you page. This is a page that a customer would see only if they fill out a form to get a quote. So they fill out the form and then automatically sends it to a thank you page saying, thank you for requesting a quote. Here's what to expect next. The purpose of this is that essentially you're going to install tracking code on this, and then it helps you with your Facebook ads and Google ads in the future, so that you can target people instead of targeting your ads for clicks. You can target your ads for conversions, which essentially is just going to make your ad campaign convert better over time. So you don't want this page to index, because you don't want people to land on this page unless they fill out the form. The only way somebody should view this page is if they completed a form. So what you'd want to do, you want to make sure it doesn't show up in Google. You're going to go to settings, and you're going to go to, I just click on the SEO, and then this little button right here that says no index. Essentially what it does is it blocks Google from crawling the site, so it can't index, so it can't show up. And so essentially that's what you want. So you want to block that. 301 migration. This isn't really going to be relevant if it's new. If it's a new site, then you're really not going to have to worry about that. Essentially, this is only useful if you have an old site, and it's super easy. Really, as long as you copy all the same URLs, you really don't have to worry too much about that. But if you have a really big site that you're migrating, then you probably get in touch with us and we can help you out with that. Integrated reviews. These are really useful as well. So there are lots of different widgets. Nice Job has a widget. I don't personally use Nice Job. I like to use a site called ElfSite. And I'll just show you kind of what I mean as a real life example of this. Scroll down. This is my site here for EcoClean. Scroll down. Right here, you see this widget. And essentially what it is just the reviews that have been pulled in from Google and Facebook. So anytime somebody leaves a review on your Facebook page or your Google page, it displays right here, which is really nice because it also uses local schema. So this is really helpful with your local SEO for connecting your GMB to your website. There's a lot of things you can do to connect your GMB to your website, but this is one of those things that will really help out. So there's a lot of different widgets that you can use to do this. And it's super easy. And if you need help with that, just send me an email and I can help you out. Either connecting your Facebook reviews, Google reviews, Yelp, Nextdoor. We can integrate all different kinds. Now, enable your local business schema. This is another really important thing for your local SEO. Very, very important for your local SEO. And it's super easy too. All you got to do is come to content, business info, and then right here you're going to see local business schema. You're going to click review and enable. You want to make sure all your business is set correctly. You want to have five images. Having a price range is beneficial as well. And then once you do all that, you're just going to click enable schema. And that's all and that's super important. If you were using a site like WordPress, that would be a tedious process. It would take you a while. With this, you click a button, it's done. If you've ever built a site before, for your business, then you realize how beneficial that really is and how much time that really saves. Super easy. Now, SEO boosted checklist. These are some things you can do to really help your SEO right out of the gate. The first thing is integrate a map from Google Maps to your site. So let's just say here, with your Google Map, you'll notice how it has this map here with your service location. All you're going to really want to do is click on that, click share, click embed a map, copy the HTML, and then you're going to come back to your site editor. This is really easy, guys. So I just copied the HTML. Now I'm going to view the desktop version of the site. And I'm just going to scroll down. And you'll notice here, this has a map box. The map box is fine. You can get by with that. But if you didn't want the map box one, you could just delete that. Go into widgets. Find the HTML widget and drop that in right there. And then right here, you're going to paste that code that you just copied. And you're going to scroll back down. And you can see the Google My. So when I just mentioned earlier about the reviews, there are different ways you can integrate your Google My Business page into your website. This is one of those things you can do it. And it's really beneficial for your local SEO. The reviews, the local business schema. You want to make sure you're posting to Google My Business regularly. Post blogs on your website and link them to Google My Business posts. Things like that are really going to help your local SEO. Now, in this case, I like to do it this way. Go width. Right now it's 600 pixels. I just set it to 100%. Height, 100%. And then update. And then we'll go ahead and scroll back down, and now it takes up the full width of the site. And then I'll just go ahead and drag that down a little bit. And so there's that. That's useful. Create a page for all your location services. So essentially, like I just went through and showed you guys how we were targeting Tampa, you can essentially duplicate your homepage and then target, maybe you have 30 to 40 little municipalities, towns, areas around Tampa where you can target and have a specific page dedicated to each location. And that's very beneficial for your local SEO, because if you're only targeting Tampa, you don't have a great shot at ranking in some of the smaller areas. Whereas if you have a page dedicated to those areas, it's much easier to rank number one, or at least rank on the first page for those different areas. Now, a keyword rich article, I talked about this a little bit earlier with the blog. Anytime you have an idea or anytime a customer asks you a question, take 15 minutes, 20 minutes, go into your site editor, write a little blog post about it. That way you can rank for more long tail keywords. Like instead of just pressure washing, you can rank for stucco cleaning or tile or roof cleaning, or house washing prices, more long tail keywords that most people are not taking the time to rank for. And so it's what I like to call low hanging fruit. Embed a video. This is super easy. I like to upload a video to YouTube titled specific keyword, specific location, and then copy the URL, go back into the site editor, find the video widget, just like I showed you with HTML, except you're going to pull the video in, put it wherever you want it, and then paste in the link from the YouTube. Now I have on my YouTube channel, I have other tutorials showing you how to do that. It's super easy. It doesn't take long at all. Integrate Facebook feed and other social media. This is another thing I can help out with there. In order to do this, you're going to want to have to use a widget, just like I talked about with the Google reviews and just how I showed you with the Google map. You're going to want to use a widget. I use Elfsight. There's other ones out there, and I can set this up for you as well. Just reach out to me and I can help you out. But essentially, it's nice because anytime you make a post to Facebook or TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, what it does is it automatically updates on your website, so it keeps your website up to date with fresh content. Set up 40 location listings. This is things like Yelp, Yellow Pages, HomeAdvisor. Well, I don't like HomeAdvisor or Yelp, really, for that matter. But this is setting up those local listings to get backlinks to your site. Better Business Bureau is another one. There's a ton of free ones out there. It's really nice for getting the backlinks and then your NAPs across the internet. So I recommend setting those up as well. You can use tools like Bright Local is a tool that I like. Netstar. There's a bunch of congregators out there where you don't have to do it manually, but doing it manually is not always a bad idea. It's free, literally. It doesn't cost you anything. Whereas the aggregators are going to cost, it depends. It's usually around 40 to 50 bucks a month, sometimes more. Now, once you've done all of that and you're ready to publish, you're going to want to hit publish, connect your domain name, super easy. Wait about an hour to 2 hours to get your SSL certificate. Sometimes it can take up to 24 hours, but it usually doesn't. And then once you have your domain connected, log into Search Console and connect your domain. Again, that's super easy. If you need help with that, just let me know. Some of these trickier things, just reach out and I can help out with some of these things. The SSL certificate, super easy. You won't have to worry about that. That's included, automated. You don't have to worry about that once you connect your domain name. Google Analytics, I would set up Search Console first. It's much easier. And again, I highly recommend using your Google domains to purchase your domain, because it's going to make these two things a click of a button and it's done. If you didn't use Google domains, just look up a quick tutorial. I'm not going to get into it because it can take a little bit of time. I want to keep this video short. But setting up Search Console and Google Analytics are both very easy. It takes basically no time at all if you bought from Google domains. So that's really it, guys. In about 35 minutes, we just went through the entire checklist. Of course, by the time you actually have to go through each page, it might take you about an hour. But that's really all the time it takes. That's why, you can do this yourself as long as you have the tools. And so hopefully this video helped you out, guys. I appreciate you taking the time watching this video. And like I said, if you need any help, any support whatsoever, just let me know and I can help you out. Thanks. Have a great day.